if your business fails. The fact is the reality is that not all of us are going to succeed in our businesses. And the fact is most people are not going to succeed in their second or maybe in their third. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 tries. But the fact is that it really what the key is that our advice is, first of all, that you don't quit doing business. Just because your business isn't going the way you anticipated, there's a couple forms of advice we give you. The first one is to not quit. And by that I mean don't quit too soon. There's an old cliche out there that it's darkest before the dawn. If you think about that cliche, if you think about the mentality that goes into that, the fact is that if you read any successful entrepreneur's book, they will tell you that they all had times when they thought about quitting. They thought about getting out. They didn't think their idea was going to work. But they persevered. They pushed through that to the point where it did succeed. So our first advice is to make sure that you've exhausted every possible avenue before you give up on your business. Make sure that you give yourself the opportunity to succeed. The second one is that if you do really reach that point where you say, I've exhausted everything, it's just not going to work, again, our advice is don't quit. And by that I mean that if you're like me and you've gotten used to these tax deductions, you're taking deductions for writing off meals and entertainment, internet access, and all of a sudden you quit your business, you no longer qualify for those deductions. You're going to go back to paying taxes on all of those things, and that's not necessarily a good thing. So by staying in business, what we encourage you to do is maybe revamp. If your first business isn't working out, hold back, take advantage of the losses that you have for that business, keep more of the money you are making through maybe another business or through a job, and then reuse that money to reinvest and to move out in a new direction. If you're in real estate, maybe it's time to go into internet. If it's internet, maybe it's time for you to go into real estate, or maybe it's time to go into vending, or maybe it's time to, explore other options. The fact is that take advantage of the tax deductions that have been established and that you may have gotten used to, but give your business the opportunity and stay out there because, like I said, you never know. Again, if you go back and read most entrepreneurs' books, they will tell you, and even Michael Jordan, everybody who's been successful at anything has told you, will tell you that they've failed as much as they've succeeded, if not more. And the key is to learn and get back up. So we encourage you to, stay after it, be persistent, give your business every opportunity to succeed. But if it hasn't, revamp and maybe launch in another direction. With that said, let's go back to our topics. I want to remind you, I am going to try to answer some questions, so hit the Q&A button up there. The next question I want to go over is how to get the most out of your tax club membership. The first step there is, of course, go to our website. If you haven't been to the website, we absolutely need you to spend some time, at least minimum once a month, we need you going on the website. On the website, you're going to see a couple of tools that are going to help you work more effectively and efficiently with us. This gives me a great chance to kind of talk about our philosophy that we have here at Tax Club. Because we are not a bunch of accountants. This company was started and we hired accountants. We didn't start out as accountants. What the mentality is that as a business owner, you have to do what's going to make you a success. And the accountants are there to support that. And your number one focus has to be every day, first thing in the morning, last thing you think about at night is how to drive traffic to your business, whether it's a storefront or vending or real estate. It's got to be how do you look at more properties? How do I get more vending? How do I get more, more people to my website? How do I get more people in my storefront? It's marketing and advertising that's going to generate your wealth. That's going to generate the success in your business. So our job is to make sure that the time that you spend with your accountant is as effective as possible. That when you do talk to us, you're getting the information you need, but you're able to do it in the flow of your day. And so what we've done is we've put together tools to help you do that. The first tool is the eTax hotline. When you have questions, a lot of the questions you're going to have are quick. For example, say you're running down to the store and you want to know how to make sure that the mileage in that trip is tax deductible. You can shoot us an email. It's not a question you have to have the answer to immediately. You shoot us an email. 24 to 48 hours later, we're going to get you back an email with the response. Not only are we going to answer the question, but we're also going to tell you why we answered the way we did. We're going to give you the IRS code. That's going to be important for you because it creates a library for you. And the thing about it is I'm sure you've realized that the more questions you ask, the more questions that prompts you to ask, and you're going to be more, you're going to have more ability for you to be able to keep more of the money you make because you're going to be better educated. And that's why we want to make that process as simple as possible. The second tool that we have there is the accounting assistance appointment. We realize that we're not going to be able to answer all your questions through email. That there's some questions where you need somebody to kind of walk you through the process. For example, an easy example there is home office deduction. Is it right for you? Should you do it? What do you need to do it? What information you need to know? So what we can do is we set up these accounting assistance appointments where we are going to ask you what you want to talk about, and we're going to talk to you and make sure you're on the phone with the right person. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment, about how important it is to talk to the right person. But we're also going to make sure that we spend the time that's necessary in order to get you the answer. Now, if you're like most people, you're sitting there saying, Jason, that's great, but I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what to ask. I don't know what questions, where to start. So in addition to that, we also include a couple things. Most of you should have received a tax plan. That's going to be kind of a starting point of, hey, here's some basic information. This should get you asking some questions. Also, we got a newsletter, a tax tips. Every month we're going to post a new newsletter. We're going to keep you up to date on what's going on. Every time Congress meets, guess what? Tax code changes. We have the Cash for Clunkers program. Now you have the, they've extended the deduction for, or the tax refund for those individuals who buy a new home this year. There's a lot of different things out there that happens with Congress. We want to, and with the IRS, we want to keep you up to date with that so that you're aware and you make decisions with the right information. We do that through our newsletter, and we also share with you what other entrepreneurs, just like yourself, are asking. That's going to help us and help you be more effective, because you're going to be able to see what other people are asking, get information, and get you to start asking questions. Now, here's the thing, folks, and this is very important. That next thing, unlimited tax consulting. And what that means is that we don't have an appointment showing up in 30 minutes. We got to get you off the phone. We don't have to try to run a business. Our accountants are there dedicated to you. They will spend as much time as necessary to help you get the answers you need in order for you to make an educated decision. And whether it's an accountant, an EA, it doesn't matter. We have lots of different tax professionals, and I'm going to talk about those different roles in a second, but we want you to understand we're going to get you on the phone with the right person, and you have unlimited tax consulting. You can ask as many questions you want. So really what I'm saying there is there are no dumb questions, okay? Ask as many and as much as you need in order to make this be as productive as you possibly can, okay? So it's very important that you take advantage of that unlimited tax consulting.